Okay, folks, it's your main man, Ian. I'm here with this amazing, this is a doodle pup, okay? Not even 6 months old. But one of the things we're working on with her is the doorways or thresholds. Folks, so many dogs are coming here. There's potty training issues, there's reactivity, there's all sorts of stuff. And what it really, a lot of times comes down to is very, very basic skills that we can master in the home that will teach us and our dog the fundamentals that will later lead to helping us get rid of the problem behavior or achieve, higher levels of success. And so here's a dog that has been working on her doorways. And what I'm going to do here is just talk about a little bit why it's so important that the dog understands the doorways and what really should it look like when you open a doorway. We have to understand that doorways are ultimately here to keep our dogs safe. A door for the car, for example, it keeps the dog in the car and out of the road. A door, on our front door keeps the dog in the house and out of, the front yard or, the apartment complex. The gate here is indicating, hey, this is designed to keep you in this yard because what if I open my main gate and cars are in here, you could get out onto the street. And so it's super important that conceptually we have this idea of the dog kind of saying please and thank you for doorways. And so it's kind of like, hey, can you open the door for me? Hey, can I come out? And then once we let them out, they don't just go running off into the sunset, but they stay with us and they say, hey, thank you for opening the door. Let me know now, where are we? Are we at the dog park and I'm supposed to go run around? Are we, on the side of the road and it's a busy street? And so what Jeff's doing here is he's helping her understand it's not that the door opens or closes that determines whether or not you come out. Doors are going to open and close a lot of times in a dog's life. And if every time a door opens, the dog's like, oh my God, I'm going somewhere, or oh my God, somebody's here, and they get excited, we might have a dog that is just chronically getting themselves amped up every time we open a door, and then they run through it and go see something new. They start this cycle of, the door's opening. And in the case of potty training, it can be really hard if this is happening because like with Saba, she's excited, she's been holding her pee all night, and then, you go to let her out of the crate and she's so excited to come out of the crate that she pees a little bit. Or, we're going to let her in the house and she's so excited after pottying to come in the house that she pees a little bit. And so I want to help her understand, the way you should be around doors when they open is calm. And if you're anticipating a door getting open, you should stay calm. And we should be able to open and close a door without you expecting you're going to go through it. And we should be able to even go through a door like this and have you wait until we give you some sort of verbal release to come through the door. So you hear there, he uses the word okay. And, whether you use okay or you use break, it doesn't matter. It's just that you're being consistent, that there is a word that, is releasing you through the doorway or out of the command. But you noticed when she went through the doorway and then she's like, oh cool, I'm going to go do my own thing. He stopped and he said, hey sweetie, let's pretend this gate is going onto a busy road and I come out of the gate and then you just, want to walk off into the sunset. Well, sometimes that might be fine. But other times when I let you through a gate, I need you to stay with me. And the way you're going to know what you do on the other side of the doorway is by checking in with me. So I let my dog out into the backyard. Of course, I just unleash the dog. They go running around in my backyard. I, let the dog into a restaurant and I come through the door. I want them to look up and go, oh, hey, I still have the leash on. Seems like we're going to go to a restaurant. I let the dog out of the car and I'm in Joshua Tree and it's an empty desert and, they get out, I take their leash off and say break. Yeah, they got to go run around in the desert. But I let them out of the car in a parking lot. And, even if I was to drop the leash, I would want them to understand, hey, this is not really the place to go running around crazy style. I apologize for the construction sounds, but I do want you to notice that there are 7 or 8 dogs down there that despite the construction, despite the training going on here, there's not a single peep, there's not a glimmer of anxiety. And believe it or not, folks, a lot of that is related to the doorways. The way the dog feels when they go through a doorway is how they feel on the other side of the doorway. So if I had my dogs wanting to go into that yard and I let them into that yard down there really excited, they might be really excited into the yard when they're in the yard. But if I say to them, hey, look, I'm fine with you being excited in that yard sometimes because you're going to play, but ultimately I don't want this to be a really crazy, excited place because, I mean, what if the mailman comes? But let's say I take them all out to the beach, that group down there, and I let them go. They know there at the beach, it is a place where they should get really excited. And so in the beach, although I let them out of the car and I have them calm, once we get to the beach, when I release them with an insane amount of excitement because I want them to have that fun. I want them to have that outlet. And you could see him just slowing things down so she has a chance to not be so impulsive, but to just look at things and say, oh, this is interesting. The door's opening, but like he's not going through. Or the door's opening, but like he has food. Or the door's opening, but like, yeah, I'm not able to go through it just yet. So you hear him, or I hear him saying that word, And this is so important in this learning phase of the thresholds. You're using You're not just smashing the dog with a no, but you're telling him, hey, I can tell you're trying. Like if the dog's trying like this, tell him, wait a little bit longer, and then I'll either release you or I'll give you some food for staying there. And in this case, he released her and he gave her food because she did such a good job, and he gave her affection. I mean, it was like 3 rewards because she did so incredibly well. We see this also with the crate, right? Like if the dog rushes into the crate like a maniac, you might have a dog that's a little bit excited in the crate, or even a lot excited in the crate. And that dog may come rushing out of the crate like a maniac. And so, like, if I have a dog come out of the crate, and they come out of the crate excitedly, they may be excited now in my house. So it's important that you're monitoring the energy level going through doorways. How much is the dog looking up at me, paying attention to me and the leash? How much is the dog distracted by something on the other side of the door? How excited are they right now? And you're just beginning to have a conversation with yourself and your dog around doorways. And like I said, this is very similar with a child, of helping them understand, hey, right now, it's super important you say please, and it's super important you're saying thank you. Like you're asking a lot from that person and they gave you a huge reward. Hey, in this point, I don't need a super formal please and a super formal thank you, but you just need to have a little bit of a more appreciative attitude, son. Or, hey, I know that person gave you a cookie and you said thanks, but you just like run away with the cookie as you're saying thanks. Hey, can I borrow your car? Oh yeah, sure, man, here. And then I just grab the keys and take off running and go, thanks. It wouldn't feel the same. And so, this is a conversation. This is a relationship. And this is something that I don't care if you live in a barn or a teepee. You're going to be opening and closing doorways thousands of times in your dog's life. And for that reason, mastering the doorways is something that for the entirety of the dog's life, it gives us a consistent conversation to have with the dog, and it gives us a barometer of how clear is our communication, how clearly does the dog understand what we're saying. You could see him here even moving the leash and just explain it to her. Hey, if I move the leash, it didn't release you. The only thing that releases you is if I say, let's go, and you see very clearly body language from me that's indicating the same thing. But, a butterfly goes by, squirrel runs by, I reach down to grab my keys or something, you just stay right there. Folks, if we master doorways, the life we have with our dog, from the time we have them until it's time to say goodbye for now, it will just be so much easier and so much more enjoyable. Folks, so much, like I said, anxiety, reactivity, potty training, leash pulling, all this stuff can be really thoroughly addressed and even avoided by simply mastering the doorways, the thresholds. And so I hope you found this video helpful. We're going to do another video really breaking down the details of the sequencing and, what are we saying and what are we doing with our body language. But in this video, I just really wanted to cover more of the how a little bit and the why. And show you an example of a young dog. It's not even 6 months old, with a huge amount of distractions down there, 7 dogs, and her just saying, you know what, I'm going to wait at a doorway, and when I come out of a doorway, I'm not going to wander off into the sunset. I'm going to continue to engage with my handler. Remember, as always, folks, we don't blame them, we train them. You can always find me online, followtheleadercanine.com, and hire me for one-on-one consultations. Also, you can find my poetry book on Amazon, Loving, Leading, and Losing, Stories from the Dogs That Trained Me. I hope you guys have a great day, and remember, your dog is so lucky to have you. Say bye, Saba.
Bye. Thanks for watching.